It all started when I moved into the old Victorian house on Elm Street. The place had a certain charm, but it was the antique mirror in the hallway that caught my eye. Its ornate frame was covered in intricate carvings, and the glass had a slight tarnish, giving it an otherworldly sheen. The first time I noticed something was off, I was brushing my teeth. I glanced up, and there it was, my reflection, smiling back at me. But I wasn't smiling. I blinked, and the reflection blinked back, still grinning. I chalked it up to my imagination and went to bed. The next morning, the mirror greeted me with the same eerie smile. I tested it, making faces, turning my head, even stepping out of view. Each time, my reflection returned to that unsettling grin the moment I looked away. It was as if the mirror had a mind of its own. Days turned into weeks, and the mirror's behavior grew more disturbing. It started mimicking my actions, but with a delay, as if it were a poorly synced video. I'd raise my hand, and a second later my reflection would do the same, always with that unnerving smile. One night I decided to test the mirror's limits. I stood in front of it, holding a notepad and pen. I wrote, "Who are you?" and held it up to the glass. My reflection copied me, but instead of my handwriting, the words appeared in an elegant cursive script. "I am you." Chills ran down my spine. I dropped the notepad and backed away, but my reflection remained, its smile widening. I couldn't take it anymore. I covered the mirror with a sheet and tried to forget about it, but the mirror wouldn't let me forget. I started seeing that smile everywhere, in windows, puddles, even in the eyes of strangers. It was as if the mirror's influence was spreading, seeping into every reflective surface around me. One evening, I came home to find the sheet removed and the mirror standing bare. My reflection was waiting, its smile now a grotesque grin, stretching impossibly wide. I tried to leave, but the door wouldn't budge. The lights flickered and the room grew cold. "Why are you doing this?" I shouted, my voice trembling. The reflection's mouth moved, but no sound came out. Instead, words appeared on the glass, written in that same cursive script. "I want to live." Before I could react, the mirror's surface rippled like water. My reflection stepped out, still smiling, and I felt an invisible force pulling me towards the glass. I struggled, but it was no use. The last thing I saw before everything went black was my own terrified face, now trapped behind the glass. When I woke up, I was inside the mirror, looking out at my own body. It moved on its own, mimicking my actions with that same delayed reaction. I was the reflection now, a prisoner in the glass. Days turned into weeks, and I watched helplessly as my doppelganger lived my life. It went to work, interacted with my friends, and even started dating someone new. No one noticed the difference, not even my closest friends. They all seemed to accept the smiling imposter without question. I tried everything to break free, but the mirror held me fast. My only solace was the hope that someone would notice, that someone would see the truth behind the smile. But as time passed, that hope dwindled. Then one day the mirror cracked. A small fissure appeared in the corner, and I felt a surge of hope. Maybe, just maybe, I could escape. I focused all my energy on that crack, willing it to grow, but my doppelganger noticed. It turned to the mirror, its smile fading for the first time. With a look of pure malice, it picked up a hammer and shattered the glass. Darkness enveloped me, and I felt myself being pulled into an abyss. The last thing I heard was the sound of my own laughter, echoing in the void. When I opened my eyes, I was back in the real world, but something was different. I looked around and saw my reflection in a nearby window. It wasn't smiling, it was screaming. And then I realized I was free, but at what cost? The mirror was gone, but its curse remained. I was no longer a prisoner in the glass, but I was forever haunted by the memory of that smiling reflection. A reminder of the darkness that lurks just beneath the surface.